Fortunate that we get a conference win today here on our final weekend home game of the season. Ton of respect for Coach Fern, the Charlotte program, their players, and respect this rivalry, which is great. March basketball, good in-state game between two teams, two great fan bases and programs, and feel fortunate that we're able to, again, to get the win. Game didn't end quite the way that we would have liked it to, but as we talked about in there, whether it's good or not so good, we're going to find a way to get better from it, and that's what this team has done all February, and we'll continue to do that and learn from any of that game. But give Charlotte a lot of credit. If we were in that scenario, down double digits, and we have been right there this season, they're not going to stop playing. Our guys know that, and we got to learn from it, and we're not going to stop playing.
All right, any questions for RJ?
RJ, how do you just sum up the emotions of today, obviously on the senior day and having the game you had?
Well, emotion was high in the game because it's a rivalry game as well. So I would say this is the kind of environment that you want to play in. Very high emotion game, energy very high. So I kind of love those kind of games. So those are the games that you kind of want to thrive in.
Once it ended, it looked like you were really soaking it in post game with fans, players, everyone. What was kind of going through your head in that moment as you know you kind of went one of these left?
Well, you don't get more of these. So. It's very, very emotional for me because I've been for 4 years. These are the same fans that cheered me on since freshman year. So I would say kudos to them and shout out to the Minchie Maniacs and to all the fan groups out there. I really thank you.
RJ, just to have so many friends and family there before the game, and what did it mean to you to have that many people in your corner in for the game today?
I feel like it's a blessing. I feel like I got a chance to showcase what I do, and I'm really glad for them to come see me play because it was their first time seeing me play. So I just want to give them a little show or something like that, and try to get a win right in front of them.
Playing here for 4 years just to represent the Pirates on the front of your chest for all of your college career. How special has that been for you?
It's very special, but I'm still in the business mindset. We trying to win the next game. I'm still going on. The season's still going on. I'm worried about winning right now. I'm gonna soak it in later. I'm just worrying about Tulane in the next game.
In a time where so many guys are switching programs, chasing bags, what have you, why has it been important to you to stay here and bring this program up like you have?
I mean, there's no place like home. East Carolina is my home, and the coach staff believe me. I trust in them. I trusted the process. My biggest goal before I got here, I wanted to change the culture. I always said I want to win here and be one of the best players and one of the best winners over here.
Anything else for RJ?
RJ, number 5 for Charlotte, folks. Pretty obvious y'all were going at it pretty good. Just what was that battle like? And when you know early in the game he's trying to take you away a little bit.
I would say he's a great defender. He's a great defender, and I don't let stuff like that get under my skin. He's a young player, so I would say he'll try to do his best to take the best player out of the game. So kudos to him.
You look like Dwayne Wade talking to the crowd out there wearing a Heat jersey. What was that atmosphere like in the electricity of Minchie's?
That's more of my personality because I get that from my mother. So I would say I embrace the energy, embrace the crowd. I'm not gonna say I'm a crowd pleaser, but I build off the crowd.
All right, thanks, RJ.
Appreciate it, RJ. Congrats, man.
All right, any questions for Coach?
Well, Coach, obviously it's an emotional game. Just, I guess we'll start with that sequence at the end. What did you kind of see there when you were kind of on the court, and kind of walk us through what happened there?
Oh, that's just high emotion. I mean, that's all that is. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't even see what happened between Braswell and Trevi. I know there was a foul called. I saw chirping back and forth, and I really just stepped on the court because it looked like the teams and just to keep everybody apart. And that's all it was. I think it just turns into a high emotion game. Again, their players, our players. It was a physical game, but that is all that was. Nothing more.
It looked like you were trying to grab Trevi, but RJ beat you there. What does that say about the character of RJ to beat the coach out onto the floor? Because you honestly kind of looked lost. You're like, I came after Trevi to get him out of trouble, and
Yeah,
RJ
you just don't want ever in those moments when it's kind of in that funny area. Whenever you're in a situation like that, and there's just two players involved in something, or it's kind of the play's going this way and the action's happening over here, that's when something can happen that doesn't, because they're isolated. So when I saw that, I just went out there just to keep cooler heads prevail, hopefully. And I thought our whole team, and I'm sure their team, I don't know what was happening, but I'm sure both teams were in that, both coaching staffs were in that mindset. But again, I said this about RJ, to your point. RJ, as great of a player is, he's even a better human being. It's because of his family that was just standing here with him, and the support and who he is as a person and teammate. I've often said as a teammate. And I think that just exemplified that right there.
You guys played a pretty decent first half, but just going into that locker room, did you know you had an extra level to get to? I mean, the way you started that second half.
Well, I thought what they did a really good job of in the first half was, man, they slowed the game down. They really did. I mean, the pace of the game. Then we have a silly turnover in transition, and they capitalize it. We had a 4-point lead, and our energy, I think we may have built it up to 5 at one point, but I know it was 4, and they closed the half on that run to tie the game going to half. So we talked about some very specific things in the second half, and I'm not sure the first 10 minutes we could have had a better execution of exactly what we were trying to do on offense and defense. We looked up, and 10 minutes in, we either had a 10 or 11-point lead. And then we continued to do that under the 4-minute mark. I do believe we missed some key free throws in that 8-minute stretch. That's a chance where you're never going to put a team away, especially a great team and such a great coach team like Charlotte and their players. Nick Graves is an all-conference guard. I mean, he's a really good player. As you guys talked about, when you talk about folks as a defender, I mean, when you talk about Braswell as a 7th-year senior, they're going to continue to fight. And so those free throws are really big. But that being said, I thought we executed for the first 17 minutes of the second half exactly what we wanted to do on offense. And I thought defense were good, and we picked the tempo up. Unfortunately, there was some plays down the stretch, whether it be a free throw here or there, a turnover here or there, and that's where we will look at this. And as I stated in the opening statement, we'll get better from that.
Since your first day here walking into the building, you've had RJ Felton on your roster. What has he meant to you as not only a player, but just as a person?
Yeah, you hit it on the head. Heart and soul guy. He bleeds purple, and I think it's the most powerful thing to say. As great of a player as he is, he's that much better of a human being and teammate. And you guys know how many times I've said this sitting right here. He cares so much about his teammates and the guys sitting next to him. And he exudes that right now as he is in this final chapter of his career at ECU. He does that throughout the game, in timeouts, talking to players, talking to me. He's telling me, and I promise you, I was cool. I was perfectly fine. That was normal emotion. But he's saying, Coach, we got to stay cool. I said, you're right. I'm good, RJ. But again, he's so aware of what's going on around him. And all that talking that you may have seen with me and their coaching staff, Coach Fern, I got great respect for him as a coach and as a friend and as someone that I truly respect. So he and I were talking, as you guys probably saw. That was all that. But you know what? This is great for East Carolina University. It's great for Charlotte. It's a great in-state rivalry game. And hopefully there's many, many more great games in March between our we want to be in that ring too. ECU basketball wants to be in that ring of playing big games in March versus rivals. Charlotte, ECU, we want to be in that. That's a great thing for both fan bases, both universities, both programs.
Coach, when you leave this game, do you leave it more frustrated that they came back into the game and made it so close, or is your takeaway more positive that you guys were able to shut the door at the end?
The questions in here would be a lot different if we had lost by 1. I can promise you that. So winning game number 9 in conference play and win number 17 is what the goal is. The goalposts aren't going to change. Now, as I don't care if we won this game big or won any game big. We have the same process when we come back in. We look at what we have to do to be better, even in games we win. I've never been a part of a perfect game, even when you win and you feel like, man, that was a really good win. If we had played those last 2 minutes perfectly and we end up winning by 10 or so, whatever, that we have a lot of things we need to continue to improve on. And I said this to the team. We have been in the situation where we were down 10 with 4 to go. And we've come back and won games this year. We have been in situations where we played great and it's a 2-point game with 38 seconds and we have the ball. So there'll be another time this year that it'll be a 1-possession game, whether we played great all game, didn't play well and fought back, or it was an evenly matched game for 38 minutes, 39 minutes. That situation will come up again. I don't know if it'll be Thursday night. I don't know if it'll be our last game. I don't know if it'll be in the conference tournament or hopefully something beyond. But we will learn from that. So frustrated is the wrong word, but a definite hunger to improve from that and learn 100%. But we would have taken that no matter how we finished the game. And we got to be better. That game shouldn't have come down to what it did, but I give Charlotte credit. They fought like a good team and a great coach team would.
Just going back to before the game, to have that moment with Cam, with CJ and RJ, and what did that mean to you as a coach to have the moment on with those guys?
I'm going to talk real quick about the 3 guys. Number 1, CJ, who's been here the shortest time. Anytime someone could come in and play for what's on the front of that jersey in his 6th year of college, played for great coaches at great programs, he's fully embraced ECU's offensive system, defensive system, culture on and off the court. And that takes a lot, and it takes great humility, coachability, and he's embraced wanting to improve individually. So that is really, I wish we could coach CJ 2, 3, 4 more years. But that meant a lot to be with him there, knowing he only has 1 left home game here. Cam Hayes, I think about him last year. He had an opportunity when the NCAA cleared him to say, Coach, you know what, I'm going to hold my year of eligibility so I get 2 full years left in college. He said, no, I want to play, knowing he had lost most of his season. Well, I should say half, because it was at the end of non-conference play. And it then took some time for him to get going. So that, to me, speaks a great volume of his selflessness and puts the Pirates first. And then again, we've talked about RJ in here. I just think he is a heart and soul guy for ECU, for Greenville, for this program. And what he said, to be a winner and help establish a culture here, he has done just that, but I don't believe he's finished yet, and we're not finished.
Tom, for one more. Coach, you mentioned not being finished when it comes to the preparation during the week. How often do you look at that banner where it says, "Are you next?"
Well, it's not only in your practice facility, but my office is right up there, and I feel like it's this glaring light beaming right in my eyes, right out of it. So I see it a lot. But right now, look, that's fantastic. And you know, we were fortunate enough to have players from the 72 team and the 93 team here with us the last 2 days. That's so powerful. The ECU basketball, they all came back to be here for this game, the alumni, the letter winners. And we would love to have a chance to do that. But to have those guys with us and around our guys, to show guys, our players, that ECU basketball is important to them, man, that was powerful. So yeah, we see it, but right now, our whole focus is we better get better to get ready for a great Tulane team coming in here that won on the road yesterday, and we got to continue to improve to give ourselves a chance to have a chance at that.